off the cloud.
Are you still on the cloud?
Still on the cloud.
Okay. Just continue to drift on the cloud then. Just relax into the cloud. Let the cloud take you to the most appropriate time and place. Just drifting and floating and drifting. And we're looking for the most appropriate time and place. Drifting and floating and drifting. And once again, the cloud is beginning to slow down. And I want the cloud to just drift down to the surface.
In a room.
So tell me about this room. Is it a large room, small room?
It's a small, relatively small room.
What else do you notice around you in this room?
A window.
And I want you to look down at your feet and tell me, what do you have on your feet?
Slippers.
What color?
Brown.
Brown. I want you to look up through your body and tell me what else you have on. What are you wearing?
Pants, but stockings, pants.
Stocking pants.
So like old pants with like shorts, like below the knee, and then stockings and like slippers.
Okay. And what color boot?
What color?
Brown boot? Is that what you said?
Like slippers, brown slippers.
Brown slippers. Okay.
Yeah. Like half slipper, like little boots, like half boot slippers.
Like half boot slippers?
Soft.
Soft, okay. And as you look up the rest of your body, what are you wearing on the upper part of your body?
Like a vest and puffy sleeve shirt.
So a vest and puffy sleeve shirts.
And puffy lower shorts. Kind of puffy. Long shorts.
Okay. And what color is this shirt and this vest that you're wearing?
The shirt is like whitish. And the vest is like dark green.
Very nice. And I want you to look at yourself and tell me, what do you look like? Are you male or female?
Male.
Male. Are you young or old?
Youngish, 30s maybe.
30s, okay. And what does your appearance look like? What color of hair do you have?
Brown.
Is it long or short?
Long pulled back.
Long pulled back, okay. And are you carrying anything?
Hammer.
You have a hammer, okay. And are you wearing any adornments or any jewelry or anything?
A ring.
A ring. What does this ring look like?
It's pewter.
A pewter ring. And what is it that you're doing in this room today?
Someone's in the bed.
Tell me more. What do you notice?
Someone's sick.
Someone's on the bed or under the bed?
Someone's on the bed and is sick.
Someone's on the bed sick. Okay. And I want you to look at this person and tell me, what do they look like?
A woman.
A woman. Mm-hmm.
She's blonde hair, dressed in white underclothing, pajamas, night shirt. And the bed is white sheets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a blue embroidered blanket.
Mm-hmm. And what is this woman to you? Do you see the connection or feel the connection?
My wife.
Mm-hmm. And do you know what is wrong with her?
Pestilence. She's not well.
Mm-hmm. And so what is it that you're doing here with her today?
She's dying.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that?
Hopeless. I can't help her.
And what else is going on? What are you doing to help her or be with her?
Just holding her hand.
Mm-hmm. And how does that make you feel, sitting there holding her hand?
But I love her and I don't want her to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I want her to be free of pain.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else going on around you that's important for us to be aware of?
Children?
Mm-hmm. Do you have children?
Maybe two children.
And where are the children right now?
They're there.
Mm-hmm. So tell me more about these children. How old are they?
One is like 5.
Mm-hmm.
The other is older. 11.
Mm-hmm. Are they?
The boy is 11.
Mm-hmm.
The girl is 5.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about these children?
I worry for them that they'll be without their mother, and I have to take care of them.
Mm-hmm. That's a heavy worry. Worrying about your children. What else do you notice?
But the little girl is sitting on my knee. I'm sitting on a stool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's holding me, and she's afraid and crying.
And how does that make you feel?
That I have to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
And let her know everything is going to be okay.
What else do you notice around you?
And the little boy, he doesn't want to know. He's in the doorway trying not to look.
Mm-hmm.
Very upset, but stoic.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do next when you're here with your wife and your children?
I bury my wife.
Okay. And how did you feel about that?
So sad.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. Lonely. dark.
Mm-hmm.
Holding my daughter's hand, and my son is under my arm. And we say goodbye.
And as you say goodbye here to your wife, what do you experience? What thoughts are going through your mind?
How I'm going to take care of my children without her. How can they live without a mother? My heart is heavy.
What happens now?
Now I work with my hammer, repairing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and taking care of my children.
Okay. And what is it that you do with your hammer? How do you take care of them?
I smith I don't know this word. The stuff that horses.
Like the
A
blacksmith?
blacksmith.
Okay. Blacksmith. Okay.
Leather apron and heat.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about this profession?
It takes care of my family.
Mm-hmm. And do you go to work somewhere, or do you own your business here?
I own my business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically comfortable.
Okay. Very nice. Is there anything important going on around you here that we need to be aware of?
Small town.
Mm-hmm. And how does it feel to be in this town?
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Several people died.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a feeling of helplessness.
Mm-hmm.
People dying.
And so I want you to move to the outside of the place where you live and tell me what your house looks like. What does your home look like?
It's like old style Tudor wood and stone. Two levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hearth where we put our pots and pans, and there's lots of wood tables and chairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want you now to move to the time when you're eating a meal in this house, in the place where you live. Well, who's there at the table with you?
children and my father.
Mm-hmm. And how old are your children here?
A little older, 13 and maybe 8.
Mm-hmm.
My father's a big man.
And how is that dynamic with him?
No. Not good. He's very stoic and harsh and hard. Not very kind. The table's big.
Mm-hmm. And is this your father's house, or is this your home and your father lives with you?
My father's house.
Mm-hmm. And when did you come to live here with your father?
After my wife died.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel about moving there?
I don't want my children to grow with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no choice.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything else going on here that's important for us to be aware of?
My children are afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
They are rigid, becoming rigid out of fear.
So what do you do about that?
I fight him. I speak loudly to him. I fight for my children.
Mm-hmm. And what happens when you do that?
He gets angry.
Mm-hmm. What happens next?
He tells me to get out.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
I take my children and I leave.
Mm-hmm. What happens next? Where do you go?
We walk, and we don't have a lot of possessions, a lot of money, but I have my hammer and some tools, and
What happens now?
I have a horse. I put my children on the horse and I walk.
Mm-hmm.
And we leave and we go away.
Mm-hmm.
And we come to another town. And I look for work and I can't find anything, and we are tired and hungry, and we walk and we keep going. We finally come to a town, a bigger city.
Mm-hmm.
And I find a place for my children and for me. I find work, and it's hard. And my children go to school.
Mm-hmm. And where do you find a place to live now?
We live in a very small space, a little room. It's very dark.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bed for my children and a bed for me. And it's meager.
Mm-hmm.
dark, sad.
All right. Well, let's move to another time when, in that lifetime, when something else important is happening, and we're there now. What's going on around you now?
There's a lot of people around me. And they're standing in the center of the square. There's
What's happening?
There's something happening, something like a big occasion, like some kind of show.
So just take a few moments and it'll become clear what's happening. So tell me more. What do you see?
Street performers.
What kind of performers?
There's laughter, there's light.
How does that feel?
It feels good, and it's funny, and they're singing, and there's laughter, and there's dancing, and jokes. My children are laughing, and they're older. My son has a young wife, and my daughter is a teenager. And it is a good day.
Good, very nice. And how does that make you feel to have this day? Laughter and joking.
It feels good. It reminds me of their mother and the joy that we used to share.
Very nice. Is there anything else important going on around you here with these street performers dancing and jokes with your children? Is there anything else important happening that we need to be aware of?
Someone is singing, and I feel them. I feel the singing.
Tell me more about this.
I like the sound of this woman's voice, and it makes me calm and peaceful and happy.
And so what do you do now?
I take my children to say hello. And she's beautiful.
What does she look like?
She's medium stature and dark blonde hair, long, that she has pulled back, and she's like an angel. And I want to know her, but she can't stay. She has to leave.
What happens next?
And I hold her hand and I ask her if she would stay.
What does she say?
And she says she can't. That she has to travel and bring her music with her family.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel sad, but I understand. And I want to go with her. And I can't. I have to finish raising my daughter.
And so what do you do now?
I say goodbye.
And as you say goodbye, then what do you feel?
I feel very torn and very sad because I've waited so long, and she has to leave, and I want her to stay, and I want love in my life, and yet I must be responsible to my family.
What happens next?
So, years go by, and my children are grown with families of their own, and I'm alone and older, and well respected, but lonely.
All right. Is there anything important here going on right now that's important for us to be aware of?
That woman has always stayed with me, and that she is my soul connection.
And did you ever run into her again?
No.
Okay. All right, so now I want you to move to the last day of your life in that lifetime. Move to the last day of your life in that lifetime. We're there now. What's happening to you?
I'm surrounded by my family and grandchildren. I'm old.
So what's happening to the body?
Well, it's shutting down.
And how do you feel?
I feel it is time to go. That I have fulfilled my responsibility. And it's time to go.
All right. And so now I want you to take your last breath in that lifetime. I want you to take your last breath and transition out of the body and move to the other side. And now that you're on the other side, I want you to look back at the body there. And how do you feel about that body that you just left?
That it was a lonely life.
So every life has a purpose and a meaning. What was the purpose and meaning of that life, do you suppose?
To care for my children. And to know that love is possible.
Okay. And is there anything there going on that you need to be aware of after you've taken your last breath with the family there? What do you notice?
I think the little girl is my mother. But there are soul families, and we share lives together. And that deep love is a possibility, and if you're lucky to experience it, that it can fill your being and endure and get you through a life.
Very nice. And so now that you've moved to the other side of that life, how does it feel to be you now? How are you feeling now?
I'm happy that life is over and happy to move on.
All right, so now that you've left that body, let's just follow the soul. See where the soul goes. Is there anyone there to greet you or to guide you? Where do you go now?
I travel. I move out far,
Okay.
like a meteor moving through space.
How does that feel to be moving like a meteor through space?
It feels free. It's free, flying.
Very nice.
Free.
Feels so good, doesn't
Oh,
it?
it's like, oh, yes, oh, free.
Yes. So now let's go to the place where you're moving to. Where do you go? Where do you go after that lifetime? After you're moving through freedom and space? Where do you go to?
I go to a very bright place, lots of stars, and there's bright sun, and there are planets nearby.
And how does it feel to be in this place now?
It feels light and airy and quiet.
And is there anyone there to greet you as you get to this place of light?
Like someone like Merlin. Someone like with a hood on and like floaty, and we're like in space floating. And they're happy to see me with a big smile. And,
what do they say when they see you?
it's good to see you. And they grab my hand, but they grab my wrist, and I grab their wrist, and we shake hands. It's good to see them. They're old, strange looking, with like a long nose.
And how many of them are there to meet you, greet you?
There are two others as well. Two others in long robes and with hoods on their heads. I can't see the other two clearly.
What color are these robes with hoods that they are wearing?
One is like purplish, and the others are gold and like black.
And how does it feel to be here in their presence?
Oh, it feels uplifting and calm, and like I'm home. Like we're truly connected. There's laughter, and there's much joy, and conversation bubbling to come through. Like so much to talk about.
So let's just engage in some of that conversation. What are the things that are being said?
Simple, how are you? It's so good to see you. It's so good to have you back. There is much to plan. You have much to do.
And who is it that's saying this to you?
This is my old buddy, mate, friend, cohort, spirit, brother. The words are hard. And the other two are like satellites, like they're like parts of us. It's hard to explain, like they are part of our energy.
And so do they always hang behind?
Yeah, they I don't know, maybe totems or something. I don't know. They're just like hanging out, like almost like holding information, maybe.
And so I want you to ask your old friend if he has a name that you can call him.
So what is your name? Lufor.
Lufor?
Lufor.
Lufor.
Lufor. Lufor.
Mm-hmm. And so ask Lufor how he has been helping you and guiding you.
He laughs. He says, I've guided you since the beginning of time for thousands and thousands and millions of lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of lives.
That's a lot of lives. So can you ask him what was the purpose of that last life that you just left? What was
the perfect purpose? To guide my children.
Mm-hmm.
To trust in my knowing.
Mm-hmm. And how did you do in that lifetime?
I did well.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of great feats, but that was not the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was to guide those children. Those children went on to do great things.
Mm-hmm. And does Lufor have a message for you now that you've returned?
To be strong, to know that I am strong, stronger than any than any other he has ever met.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have much to do. There's much to do.
And so can you ask him, what is it that you need to do?
What do I need to do? Open my big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Follow the energy. Follow the knowing. And to trust my heart.
Mm-hmm. And how is he guiding you?
How are you guiding me? I am guiding you through sound. I am guiding you through words, light. I am guiding you through words, through your writing. I am guiding you through music.
Can you ask him what is your connection to music?
What is my connection to music? Oh my God. He's showing me like symphonies all over the universe, like incredible, huge, gigantic sounds moving through space, like hard to put in words. But it's like a bellowing of rhythms and sounds and instruments, vibrations all moving through my body.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It feels like I can almost not bear all of it. It's a lot of information of sound.
That's beautiful.
It's almost like an orgasm, but like to the nth degree.
And so ask him, what's your best way to work with this sound?
What is the best way to work with this sound? Be it. Be it. Don't turn it off. Be it. Don't be afraid. Be it.
Can you ask him what's important for you to know right now to help you in your life's journey right at this moment?
It's important right now to help me on my life's journey this evening. You are the love you seek, and that the love you bring is shifting and changing the world. The love you bring through your music and sound is so required and so requested right now. Don't pull away. Follow through. They're coming, and they need you.
And when you say they're coming, who is they that's coming?
All of the students and clients, the ones seeking transformation, they're coming. I need to be, you need to be ready, I need to be ready.
Can you ask him what you need to do to be ready?
What do I need to do to be ready? Meditate. Push down your barriers. Receive. Ask the questions. Ask the questions. Ask the questions, one of your greatest tools. Ask the questions. And receive. Receive. Allow. Allow. Know that you are worthy to receive. You are worthy to express all that is moving through you. Do not be afraid, for you are loved, for I am here.
And I want you to ask him the best way to make this connection with your guide.
What is the best way to make this connection? Take a moment and breathe and feel the tone. For the tone is the zone. And you are that. It is your space of resonance. And you will know.
Ask him if we can ask some of your questions that you brought today, if we can ask those of him.
Can I ask you some of these questions? Yes, of course.
Okay. We would like to know if sound and music are the major purpose of this life, which I think we've already gotten that information. But how does she expand consciousness through music and sound and vibration in the best possible way?
How do I expand in the best possible way? How do I expand consciousness? Be the space.
And when you say be the space, can you give us a little more information on how that is? How do we be the space?
When you expand into space, into the darkness, like when you traveled to me, that space, relay that space in energy around you. Ask the questions that bring people to that space, beyond their imagination, beyond what they have considered possible. Ask them to expand. And you expand, you be that space, and they will have an awareness of that space. You invite them into that space so that you can be that sound, greater, more. Before you enter any teaching environment, create the space first so that they may know where it is. Fill that space with tone and sound and music so that they can feel through. They can know that they know. You have been taught this. Now it's time for you to teach it.
And so how is the best way to go into that space before a client?
The ash. The ash is the quiet that you take. It doesn't take long. Just take a few minutes. Go into the ash. Go into the bubble. Be the space. And then invite them. When they come into that room, into that auditorium, into that theater, everyone will already have access to the space. Use the sound. Use your ability to be the space. You know.
Thank you for that information. I know she's really going to appreciate hearing that.
Thank you.
What other messages do you have for her today?
That she is a bright soul, that she is very bright, and that she is light, and that she shouldn't worry, and that the money is coming, that is only a means to what she would like to create, and that she will not be alone. She will not be alone. There is someone who will share it with her. And they are here.
Is this a soulmate? Or is this just a friend or
It's a soul
connection?
journeyer, connector. It is the one, the singer.
The singer in the other lifetime
Yes.
that we just experienced?
Yes.
And how will she know this person when she meets them?
She knows.
And is this person going to be a life partner for her?
Yes.
Okay, and how far away is this connection?
Soon.
The connection with this life partner, this singer from the other life? Is this far in the future for her or
Not far.
soon?
Soon.
Okay. And is there some way for her to recognize this person when they come in?
Laughter. Light. Kindness. Warmth.
And she wants to know, does she have other spirit guides besides yourself?
Yes.
How many spirit guides does she have?
3.
3? And were these the other 2 that are sitting off in the side there? Or are those aspects of herself?
Those are aspects of herself.
Okay.
She calls them angels, but they are aspects of herself.
Okay. And who are these other guides that she works with?
One is who she called upon, Thoth. An old Egyptian, very strong, very magical.
And what does this guide bring to her?
Thoth reminds her of her lifetimes as a great healer.
And so when is the best time for her to call on this guide?
When she feels stuck with a client who is in great pain or stubborn, unwilling to receive.
Okay. And does this guide have a name?
Thoth.
Thoth?
Thoth.
Okay, very nice. And how about the other guide?
The other guide is of mixed sex, hermaphrodite, male, female. Beautiful, light, nymph-like.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And does this guide have a name?
You have a name? Xarno.
Xarno.
Xarno. Xarno. Xarno.
Okay. And when is a good time to call on this guide?
In sex, in sensuality, in being everything that I be, when I get lost in defining myself. This one reminds me to be free in my expression, to not fall into defining myself.
And are there any other guides that she has besides yourself and these two?
The big guy.
And who is the big guy?
Old friend. Warrior. Comforter. Old, like, brother spirit.
Okay.
Brother spirit. In Indian, Native American, predominantly, but not just.
And when is a good time to call on this guide?
Any times of fear, any times of needing comfort or feeling the need to know that all is well, that I am strong, or I am fiercely protected, that he is always there to protect me.
And does this big guy have a name?
What is your name? John. Pretty simple. John.
Very nice. And how is the best way for her to connect with all of these spirit guides?
The way she is doing is good. And when she was guided by Abraham to look up into the trees, into the sky, and acknowledge them, and they will let her know she is there, that they are there. In her acknowledgement always. And they hear her every day when they speak to her, and they see her in her meditation, and they are there in a circle.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us all this information today, and I know that Karen is really going to appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Is there any last messages you want to leave her before we release you today?
There is no death.
Excuse me?
There is no death.
Okay.
To let her freak flag fly. To be. Don't pull back. Step forward. Shine in your light. It is okay this time. It is time.
And what is so crucial about this time right now?
This is the time of the shift, and all light workers are being called. And they have to step out of the shadows and into the light. And they must do it now.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up and giving us this information today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we release you now. And Karen can call you when she needs you going forward. Thank you.